The next one, solving differential in the form of f dash x or n, where n is any real number. So again, it's the same questions from your worksheet. Now, if the question came up like that, f dash 4, we need to find this one. So I'm just going to try do the part 3a, and I will also do that part as well, and then you can do the next. So x plus 1 square. So we need to find f dash of 4. What does that mean? It means find the differential and put x equals to 4 later. That's what it means. So let's have a look. Let's go to the next page and let's try this question. To do this one, the first thing we need to do is this is fx. So I'm going to differentiate on both sides. So when I differentiate on this side, that becomes a f dash x, because this is equal to dy over dx. And here I can do d over dx of x plus 1 square. Now, what you can do is there are two multiple ways of doing it. First method, you take the 2 out. Imagine this thing is a box. Let's call this one as a box. According to the rule, it says the 2 comes out, reduce the power of the box by 1, x plus 1, reduce the power of the box by 1, and then differentiate the box as well. Now this will become 2, and that becomes a x plus 1 to the power 1. And when you differentiate this thing, d over dx of x, that's just a 1, and d over dx of 1, that's just a 0. When you do these kind of questions, make sure you write all the steps, and the answer you will get is 2x plus 1. Now the question is, it's asking you to find out f dash of 4. So in the question it says 4. So wherever there is x, I'm going to put 4. So then f dash of 4 is equal to bracket 4 plus 1. And when I solve that one, this is going to give me an answer of 10. So this is a gradient at that one. This is one way of doing this question. Now, then there is another way of doing the same question. Let me do that one for you as well on the next slide. And we will get the same answer no matter which method we follow. So let's say on the second one, this is x plus 1. So first thing is you need to open this x plus 1. So x plus 1 is actually a x plus 1 square is x plus 1 and then another x plus 1. When you multiply this times that will give you just x square. When you multiply that times that's x. That times this is another x. And 1 times 1 is just 1. So you will get x squared plus a 2x plus a 1. And that's equal f of x. Now the question is finding the f dash of x or 4. So we need to differentiate on both sides. So you're still going to write down here differentiating with respect to x on both sides. So that side will become a f dash x, and this side when you differentiate d over dx of x squared plus a 2x plus a 1. When you differentiate, that will become, obviously you need to differentiate everything separate. So you're going to do d over dx of x squared plus d over dx of 2x plus a d over dx of 1. Make sure you write all the steps. That will become just 2x. That will just becomes a 2. And that will become just a 0. So f dash x is 2x plus 2. Now if you want to find at 4, f dash of 4 is 2 times a 4 plus 2, which is again a 10. And you have the same answer previously, and this answer and the previous answer are same. So that does not matter which method you want to follow. Same answer. Okay, now let's say we want to differentiate this thing and we want to find out, again, it's the same part of the question. You can have a look at the worksheet. So how do we do that one? Again, exactly same. We follow the same method. So first we differentiate with respect to x. So that side is going to be f dash x, and this side is going to be d over dx of 5 minus 6x 3 over 2. Now we differentiate that one separate. So d over dx of the 5 minus d over dx of 6x 3 over 2. Now you know d over dx of 5 is a constant, is 0, minus, according to that one, 3 over 2 comes out. The power comes out. Before I take the power, first the constant comes out, which is here. When the constant comes out, now 3 over 2, which is a power comes out. And reduce the power by 1. 3 over 2 minus 1. Now if I do on the next page, so you will get 0 is gone, 6 is already there, 3 over 2, and then it was x to the power 3 over 2 minus 1, and on this side it was f dash x. Now if I simplify that one, how many 2 goes into 6? 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. So that becomes a 9. You can do 6 times 3 is 18. 18 divided by 2 is 9. Then you got 3 over 2 minus 1. 3 over 2 minus 1, if you do in calculator, it's give you that value half. Now f dash x, this is the value. But according to the question is asking you to find out f dash 4. Which means you're going to do 9, 4, half. And 4 power half is actually a 2. When you put that in calculator, you will get 9 times 2. Because that is a square root of 4, is 2. Now 9 times 2 is actually an 18. And this 18 is your answer. Yeah, that's your answer. Now, let's say we got an equation of a curve y equals x cubed minus 4x squared plus 3x. Because it's a cubic curve, so it might cross at 3 different points on the x-axis. The question is find the coordinate of these points, that, and that. So we need to find all these coordinates. We also need to find the gradient. To find the coordinate, we need to factorize it. How we do the factorization, I will show you in a minute. There are multiple ways of doing the factorization, and then we can actually find out. You can also use the Desmos to check your answer by plotting an equation. So the first thing is we need to find out the point of intersection, the x coordinate. If I got the x coordinate, I can put it back and find the y coordinate. So let's have a look. First, we need to do the factorization. So we got the equation which is y equal x cubed minus a 4x squared plus a 3x. Now I need to factorize that one. So I'm just going to call this thing as, there are multiple ways of doing it. Let's do an easy way. I'm just going to call that one as f of x. Now, on a graph, and this is also y. Remember, this is also y. On the graph, let's imagine these are, I don't know where the points are, but let's say if it cross at this point and that point and that point, wherever the points are. So that point, what is the value of the y at that point? The value of the y at this point is 0. The value of the y at this point is 0. The value of the y at this point is 0, which means wherever it is going to crosses the x-axis at the 3 points, the value of the y is going to be 0. So I'm just going to exploit that fact, and I'm just going to say, okay, this side, because this is a y, that's equal to 0. 0 equals x cubed minus a 4x squared plus a 3x. And if we have a look, the x and the x is common. I will take the x common. If I take the x common, I'm left with the x squared minus a 4x plus a 3. And I got that bit. Now that is equal 0, which means it can be true in two different ways. I'm multiplying two numbers and the answer is 0. Let's say I'm multiplying the one thing that's outside the bracket and the other term which is inside the bracket, and the answer is 0. So this multiplied by that and the answer is 0. That can only be true. That can only be true if x equal to 0, which means this part equal to 0, or the second part, which is x squared minus 4x plus 3 equals 0. So there are the two. So I got the one point, x equals 0. Yeah. Okay. Now I need to find out the other point, what are the other 2 points? Because a quadratic equation, it will have 2 answers. How I know it's a quadratic equation? On the top, it's a 2. So I need to factorize that one. The way to factorize is you multiply this number 3 plus 3, and that one. So there is a 1x squared. So that will give you a 3x squared. Now you need to think of two numbers. When you multiply, the answer is 3x squared. Let me write the 3x squared on the corner. The answer is 3x squared, but when you add, the answer is minus 4x. That's the way to factorize. So the numbers are, let's say it's 3 times 1. So because I can have 3x and 1x. If I multiply that 3x and 1x, the answer is 3x squared. But if I add them, it is not minus 4. It is actually a 4. So it means the both of them number has to be negative. So what I'm going to do is I can actually, long way, I can do x squared minus 3x minus 1x. So instead of 4x, I put minus 3x minus 1x plus 3 equals 0. And I can actually factorize that one. So these two factors, I can take x as common, so I got x minus 3. And in that one, minus 1 I can take common, and I got x minus 3. You see the thing that's in this bracket and this bracket, they are same. So I can call it x minus 1. Why I'm writing x minus 1? This x and this minus 1. And what's left? X minus 3. The thing that's in bracket. The thing that's in bracket, I have to write just once. So x minus 1. The x from here and minus 1 from here, that will give me this thing. And then x minus 3, and x minus 3 is twice, but I'm going to write once, and that will give me answer as 0, which means that I'm multiplying two things. The answer is only 0 if that is 0 or that is 0. So let's try the first one. I put x minus 1 equals 0, which will give me an answer x equals to a 1. So that's, and x minus 3 equals 0, which will give me an answer. It can only be true when x is 3. Yeah, x is 3. So I got that one. Now, if you read the question,